Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over loops and iterations. So the two main loops we're going to be using in this tutorial is going to be the for loop and the while loop. So let's go ahead and get started. Now we're going to say for num and nums, go ahead and print out nums. So while we're looping through each value of our list, and each time through the loop, this num variable is going to be equal to the next item in the list. So first time through is going to be equal to 1, the next time is going to be equal to 2, and so on. So if you run this, um, it went ahead and printed out every single value from 1 through 5. So basically, um, it did this because I told it to go ahead and create this for num in num, which basically tells the computer to go ahead and print, and then I gave this statement, print num, once every single number is printed. There are going to be two important keywords while working through this. It's going to be a break command and a continue command. What keyword does is it breaks through the number. Um, and what a continue keyword does is that it continues and it adds every single value into the list. So when we don't want to continue through every single value in our loop, we use the break statement. What it does is it completely breaks the loop. So let's say we're looking for the value of 3. So I can come in here and, to our list and say if uh, num equals to 3, if this statement is conditional, print out that found it. Found it. Okay. Now we could see once we play this, we could go ahead and check this out. And oops, I made a little mistake. Is that this? I didn't print out break. So once you print out break. So now once I've done this, let's run this. Let's execute this program, and now we can see that it only printed out 1 and 2. And for 3, it printed out found it. Now why it did this is because we said if the number is equal to 3, print out found it. So instead of printing out 3, it prints out found it. And basically this is the breaking point. So when we said if number is equal to 3, print found it, and then break um, once it gets to that. So as you can see, it just printed out 1 to 2. Now, if we were to continue this loop, we would just simply replace this with continue. Now, what the continue command is going to do is going to go ahead and simply continue through every single number. But watch what happens. As you can see, it printed out every single value, but instead of printing out 3, it printed out found it, because we said under this condition, if number is equal to 3, go ahead and print out found it. And so we didn't print out 3, instead we printed out found it. So that's how that happened. Okay, so now let's look at something we might run into, which is a loop within a loop. So now this is possible. So within our loop here, I'm going to replace this conditional with an inner statement. So for letter in ABC, let's make a string here of ABC, and within this inner loop, we're going to print out a num, comma, a letter. Now what's going to happen here, for each number in this loop, is going to loop through every single number, and is going to print out the number and the character, and then move on to the next character, and is going to go ahead and do this all over again. Now let's see and what we get here, simply by executing this. Now, as you can see, it printed out every single value with its that for what we can see here, that for 1, it looped through every letter in the string here. And there's a built-in function called range. Now let's say if we wanted to run through a loop. So to do this, we could say for I in range, could print out 10. Now if we say print, go ahead, print out 1, print out I, we could see that it prints out every single value from 0 to 9. But we go up to but not including 10. Now, if we start at 0, we can also pass on a starting value. Now, it starts at 1, and then print out the values from 1 through 10. Now, we could go ahead and start at 1 if you don't want to print out 0. Now, it doesn't include the last value, so if you want to print out the number 10 as well, I'm just going to go ahead and print out 10. Let's see what happens. So, it printed out 1 all the way up to 10, and notice that it didn't print out 11 because it only goes ahead and prints out numbers 1 through 10 in a condition like this. Now let's take a look at while loops. So our for loops iterated to a certain values, and so what while loop does, it keeps on going, it never stops. So let's see what happens here once the condition is met. So for example, let's say we had a variable here of x is equal to 0. So now while that x is less than 10, we could say that print out x. So now x is plus and equal to 1. So now what we say here is that until x is less than 10, print out every single value in x. If you want this loop to end at some point, we'll have to remember to increment at this point. So at some point, it will be greater than and equal to 10 so that it will break out. So now if we run this, we could see that it breaks out 0. It breaks out 0, let's see, 0 through 9, which is 9, which is less than 10. So it basically printed every single value from 1 through 9. It didn't print out 10 because we said that if print out every single value which is less than 10, so it didn't print out 10. And you could always change this number to whatever you want. It could be any number, a big number, and we'll see what happens here. It just goes and keeps on going until it hits that number. So basically this is what a while loop does. It keeps on going till whatever value you want it to run through. Here to stop that value, and go ahead and change this value that, and it checks if the value is less than 10, and then it just stops once it meets that requirement. So if I came in here and said if x is equal to 5, we could say that, and then we go ahead and break this value, and then we could see by playing that it would break until 5. So these are basically the two most fundamental commands, break and continue, as we did review this in the previous section. So now to create an infinite loop, we could replace this component with the value of true. So we could say that, we could say that this while true, let me see, yeah, there, while true, go ahead and print. And so now that we have an infinite loop, we could never stop it unless we go ahead and have this break value. So since we have this break value, it's not going to keep on going. It's going to stop at a point. Now let's see. Let's go ahead and test this out. And as you can see, it's still printed this out because we have a break statement here. Now let's remove this and see what happens. And as you can see, it's printing out every single value in basically, you know, in the universe, because we said while true, if x is equal to 5, print found it. Now, what this does is basically creates this crazy loop. Thank you guys for watching this video, and leave a thumbs up if you found this video helpful.